Welcome to the Wausau Woodchucks preseason interview. My name is Matt Clark, and I'm delighted to be joined by the head coach of the Wausau Woodchucks, the all-time winningest coach in Woodchucks history, the reigning Northwoods League Manager of the Year, coming back for his fourth season as head coach, Coach Corey Thompson. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to meet with me today, and let's just start with this. Go ahead and give us a little refresher on who you are, where you're from, what you're all about for the fans that do know and the fans that may not know.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate the intro. It's a lot of words there and kind words, so I appreciate that. But Corey Thompson from Lakeland, Florida, Central Florida area. Coach down here at Kaiser University. It's my full-time job gig, I guess, before I come up for the summer. And yeah, man, just love coaching baseball, love coaching young guys and helping them along their journey.
Yeah, and a hands-off coach, I might add. Something that you've talked about in the past is I let the guys hit, and I let the pitchers throw strikes.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, man. That's what guys want, especially in the summer, right? They want a little bit of a direction, and then not so much of, hey, this is how you got to do things, but that's kind of how we run things is hands off and go from there.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk about what should be a very exciting season coming up in just a month or so. But we can't talk about the upcoming season without talking about last year. And I pulled up a couple of statistics from last year just to give you an idea of how elite the Woodchucks were in the Northwoods League. Here's a couple numbers for you, Coach. You had the team record for wins in a single season, and with 51st place in the Great Lakes region, the team second in the league in batting average, fourth in RBI, single season franchise record for strikeouts with 633. So your pitchers were doing it. They were third in the league in ERA. 2 players won Best in the Field awards for the Northwoods Leagues. There were 7 All-Star Game participants. You were the Great Lakes region head coach. There was the All-Star MVP and 2 postseason All-Stars. And Coach, like we said, you won Coach of the Year. And on top of all of that, the most tickets sold than in Woodchucks history, more tickets last season than any other season in Wausau history. So when you sum all of that up, when you think of last season, what do you as a coach remember most?
I think what you said last was the most important one to me. Most tickets sold. I've said it countless times. Like, I want to win a championship in Wausau for Wausau. They've been great to me. That city has been nothing but exceptional. I love my summers up there. I call myself a reverse snowbird. I leave Florida to go to a little bit of a cooler place in the summer. But that place has my heart, man, and I want to do something special for them. We're on the right track. We just got to kind of jump that hurdle at the end of the day. But, yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of accomplishments. But I think the biggest one is those guys keep coming out every day, which is fun.
Yeah, some of the best fan support in the league. Now you're coming into your 4th season as a Northwoods League manager. Your first season was back in 2021. I wanted to turn back the clock a little bit because you've now managed hundreds of games in the Northwoods League. If you could go back 4 years to the start of your tenure as Wausau head coach and tell yourself one thing or give yourself one piece of advice about the Woodchucks or the Northwoods League, what would that be?
Do it a little bit more for the players than yourself. I write selflessness on the lineup every single day. That's more for the players. But I did that in 21, but I didn't really let that sink into myself until probably 2022, the following year. And we had a good year, and then the next year I did the same thing. So it's more so just be there for the guys. And I think that's why you're going to see this year more and more returners want to keep coming back, and the better players of those returners want to keep coming back. And it's for that reason, right? As a coaching staff with Kelton and Nolan and myself is made an environment for those players to play freely and keep coming back. So that's what we did.
You just led me right into my next question. We're talking about there are some big returners for this team that Woodchucks fans should expect to see again at Athletic Park this summer. Tell me about a couple of them. We talked about it. Jake Birkland coming back, Christian Smith-Johnson, Max Solis, some major faces that lit up in the Woods last year.
Yeah, I mean, those three, to name a few, are top-notch. Top-notch players, but top-notch locker room guys as well. I know those three are fired up. They text me at least once a week individually. Hey, we want to win a championship. We're fired up to come back. Jake Berkland, I tell everybody that's my favorite player I've ever coached, and I'm not shy to say that. I'll tell everybody in front of their face. That's the guy that I love. But it goes along with the rest of those two. Like Max Elise, great human being, great player on the field. SJ, great human being, great player on the field. And they control that locker room too, man. Like that's the special part is I do my due diligence, but at the end of the day, the game's over, win or lose. Those three right there will handle that locker room, how it's supposed to be handled, how we're supposed to travel on the bus, whole 9 yards. They kind of run it, player-led.
And some other good news this season, you guys get to share Athletic Park with the new Wausau Ignite, the newest team in the Northwood Softball League. What are you looking forward to most with that? What have you heard about that? And describe the impact that the Northwood Softball League has had on the growth of softball as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer for the Northwoods League, right? It's never been done before. No, in college softball, it's not a thing in summer ball. I got to witness it a little bit last year with some teams in the Northwoods League, especially going to the All-Star game. What I will say is the talent level is pretty good. There's some players there, but I know the fans in Wausau are fired up. What I'm excited for is it gives something for the people in Wausau to do every single night. Whether we have a baseball game, there's going to be a softball game. Every night there's something to do in Athletic Park, which is awesome. I'm fired up for that. And I know the city's fired up for that, right? It gives them another avenue, whether it's a little girl in the stands, it gives them a little bit of a push to play softball and grow that. So the impact that this could really have is bigger than I think a lot of players and people think.
All right, let's sum it all up here, Coach, because you're just about a month away from getting things back going at Athletic Park. You guys had such an amazing season last year. We've talked about that. You just came short of advancing, though, in the Northwoods League playoffs. So coming into this year, what needs to be the biggest difference from your team this year compared to last year to clear that hurdle and complete the mission that you have of winning the Northwoods League championship this year?
Yeah, I wouldn't change a whole lot. I think the ball just kind of fell the way it fell. It happened last year and it happened 2 years before that. We both were in the playoffs both of those years and just didn't quite get the job done. That's my main goal. I tell Ryan and Mark that every year is I want to win a championship for this city and this organization. I haven't done that yet, so I'm still here and I'm still coming back, and I want to complete that. But to answer your question, man, I wouldn't do anything differently. I think we just got to put the players in the right place and let them have their day.
What does Wausau baseball mean to you, Coach, especially as you know this community and this organization so well from your time here?
Yeah, I love it, man. It's a second home for me in the summer for sure, no question there. The fans have treated me great. The front office has been nothing but great to me. But it's a second home, and I call that, and I mean that sincerely. So that's why I tell you every day, man, like I want to win a championship for the city, and it matters. So yeah, it means everything.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for your time today. The Woodchucks get things started on May 26th when they face off on the road against the Kenosha Kingsfish. You can get your tickets at the Woodchucks website. We will see you this summer at Athletic Park.